Hello viewers, Super TT here. Welcome to my very first video of 2019. So I hope you've had a very happy new year. Let's try and make it a little bit happier with another video here. First of the year, first of 2019. So it is the Motul Ortec GTR Nissan 16 Cup, if you like, or Group 2 essentially, but everyone uses this car. 13 laps around the Fuji Speedway in Japan. So let's try and kick off the year in style. Let's try to avoid getting sent to the realm. Let's avoid getting called a pig and finishing 6th. If we try to avoid all of those, then we've done well, I think. Starting dead centre of the pack in 10th, and it is a rather close pack. Everyone qualifying really very close indeed, and actually just spotting at the back of the shot there. Someone just spinning around. A nice start for the race for him, and of course to the year. It's gone through 100R, and Albin here gets slapped with a half-second penalty, kicking off the year in style, and going to keep the position. Now the Swiss guy, oh my, he spun it round. Mr. Neutral, he's going to have to engage neutral gear and get going again, recovering from that spin. So not a good start to the race. Coming up into turn number, what number is this? Number 10. Into the back of Albin, but he keeps it under control. It really does narrow up there very, very much. The tightest corner on the circuit is turn 10 there. And this final section is really difficult because the track is so wide and the corners are really long. There's so many different interpretations, and you can really quite easily throw up the inside, especially into this final turn here, as we go through the corner. And that's pretty much exactly going to happen as the Italian comes through with contact, unceremoniously bundles me wide, takes 9th position. We have to tuck back into that slipstream. Such is the length of this straight that you really do have to make most of that slipstream. You come right back at them as we cross the line to begin the second lap. So we're still in 10th. Now I'm going to go for dive bomb of the year. It's only the second day of the year, but we're going to do it. And smash him out of the way. We can take that position back. Thank you very much. Revenge is a dish best served with a massive dive bomb into turn 1, obviously. And I've served him a nice hot meal there. As we actually go up into 8th, there's a double overtake. We went past Albin and the Italian. Savage move. Kicking off the year in amazing style. So we now turn our attentions to the cluster of people ahead. A Belgian there and 2 Spaniards, and at this point here the rest of the pack, so 1st to 4th, just beginning to edge away, and it's getting really rather close here between these 3 up ahead, fighting very, very much. That's only going to slow them down and bring them into the clutches of Moi on this lap. Then you can see they're definitely getting closer to these 3, and the gap behind 1.7 at this point, or 1.6. So we're going to put that's good news. We've caught up and we've pulled away from the people behind. Always good to see that. So through the final turn, onto the main straight. So the beautiful Mount Fuji there overlooking the circuit. As we come down the main straight into that slipstream, we're going to pull to the left-hand side, and we're not quite in the slipstream with the guys ahead, I don't think. But I'm going to get a job done here though. You see here, almost bouncing off the limiter in 6th gear. No tuning, of course, so I can't really change that. Into turn 1. And we've got the job done, hitting the apex, keeping the position, up into 7th. We've made steady progress so far from 10th to 7th, and you can see with these exterior shots just how the race is beginning to spread out slightly, as is basically what always happens. So of course on lap 1 we're all starting nose to tail pretty much, and the race will slowly fan out. So happy with the beginning so far, happy with the start, up into 7th position. No bottle job so far. We've avoided the main part of the trouble, and we can begin to start thinking about our strategy, because we've gone for the soft tyre as the Spaniards turn this into the Spanish Civil War. But in fact the culprit that actually backs out, the 7-Up bandit, actually goes for the contact, then he backs out, lets him go back past. Fair play on show here. So he lets his fellow Spaniard through and rescinds his offer of a Spanish Civil War. Into the final turn, not quite going to go for the lunge here. You've got to really balance it off. Do you want to gain positions? Of course you do, but you don't want to lose too much time. You don't want to go for silly moves which puts you out of the slipstream, then you lose further time, so you've got to really think about what you're doing, which I don't always do if I'm honest. Right, coming up the main straight, firmly into that slipstream, we're getting plenty of 7 up on board. We're going to go through, up into 6th place on the brakes into turn 1, and we've got the job done very nicely, leaving a little bit of space on the way out, and he's taken advantage of it. As you can see, it's going to be now a drag race through turn 2 up towards turn 3, and the other Spaniard's actually opened up a nice gap there of about a second. We go side by side through turn 3, you don't really see that very often. We've got the job done. Can I run him narrow through 100R? Really good battling here. We've still got 2 people right behind us who will surely take advantage should it all go wrong, and thankfully it doesn't go wrong. We're still side by side though. He's done another cutback on me, but thankfully coming down here I'm on the right hand side as he does sweep across, braking just under that shadow into the hairpin. Is he going to go for the move? Yes, but I've given him the space. I can sweep around the outside to keep my 6th place, and just scanning ahead. Who is that? It's Visual Quintin with another bottle job. I thought I was a bad bottle job. Quintin, man, come on. He's spun himself out, or something's happened there, and he finds himself down the order. I'm up into 5th. That is solid. That is a solid start. We're going to go into the pit lane here, though, at the end of this lap, which is in just a matter of seconds as we come onto the main straight. So we're going to go for that 2-stop strategy, as the soft tyre, definitely the best tyre to be on, I think, for this race. I think it's the best strategy. We'll sweep over to the right-hand side, flying through, no brakes, hitting the wall actually, and might have got a penalty for that, as we come in to change over to another set of soft tyres. Beautiful work by the Nissan boys, thank you very much. See you later. And you can see here, coming out in 9th. Okay, so we've lost a couple of positions, but then again, the strategies are varying. People going for different ways through this race, and scanning behind there, someone going right. So at this point here, just one Spaniard right in front of us, and then quite a train. So we've actually done quite well there to get our pit stop done and then still come out in front of all those people. If we come out in the middle of that battle, you're just going to lose infinite time, basically. So good work there by the Nissan boys. Thank you to all of you back at the factory too, of course. Hashtag blessed. Right then, we are going to try to just ease ourselves into the stint. Try not to get on the back foot against the 7-up guy behind, and instead get on the front foot, try to catch up with the Spaniard ahead, and then of course the 2 Belgians up in front of those in front of us here. So always trying to look forwards, try to ease your way into some better positions rather than having some bad laps and falling into the clutches of those behind. And ideally, especially on these final sectors, the Belgian goes very wide there. Look up the inside. You don't really want to be in slipstream range of the guy behind, as you're just going to give them a couple of attempts down the straight. So as we come down here, I think Albon, he went for the different strategy, so he's going to peel off to the right hand side and disappear. He's gone into the pits. So we can see where we're going to come out here, back into 5th, up behind Lazio Troy, into turn 1. So he's done his pit stop as well, and he's done well to come out ahead. So that's pretty much where I should be. I'm back into 5th, so there's good results so far in the race. We're getting our first pit stop done. Lazio Troy here should be better off because of course he's just come out of the pit, so he's got 1 lap fresher tyres. So from here to the end of the race he's on the superior strategy really, because he has fresher tyres for this stint, albeit just 1 lap, but that can be crucial. So settling into the race now and moving from 10th to 5th, which is very, very nice indeed. And just looking at the map as well, always studying sort of the way that the race is going. We're in the middle of maybe a 6, 7 or 8 kind of player group. Then there's a bit of a gap, and then there's another 8 player group behind that. So we're in the right kind of area. Well, the right area is going to be obviously in 1st place, but Visual Olympic JM is doing a very good job at this moment. In fact, he's going down the main straight now. He's pretty much crossing the line already. He's really extending that lead very quickly. As I just come into the main straight right now. Maybe, well, we'll see in a moment how many seconds I am behind the leader. It's 13 seconds, a massive gap. Not quite sure how he's extended that advantage so much. Clearly a hacker or using nitrous oxide, obviously. Right, coming down towards turn 1, and looks like Lazio going for the move on the Spaniard, and it was not clean. Just spundles him wide completely, and doesn't actually get a penalty for that. He already had that 0.8, and nothing was added to it. So he's got away with one there, and the poor Spaniard here is left reeling, losing a lot of time, and now comes under the attack of myself. And just behind, we've got Visual Quintin, so of course he was second on the grid, and obviously lapping towards the front. Made some mistake a couple of laps ago, and dropped right down the order. You can see the gap there behind. He is slowly gaining, so this isn't completely over, of course. We're about halfway into the race. You can see the kind of gaps we're looking at there. As well, he's going to look to be recovering, and of course, I think on the first half of this race, I'll definitely be on the front foot. But as it settles down, and some people who have been aggrieved earlier on try to recover, it may turn into a more defensive race. But I can still definitely gain some positions here. The guy in third has a penalty. The guy in fourth not too far ahead, so there are potential gains here. Through the final turn of lap number 7, coming up towards lap 8, which will be the final lap of this second stint. So we're going to do 4, 4, and then 5, which makes sense when you have the longer stint, the 5-lap stint at the end. Then you're going to do that with less fuel in the tank, and therefore a lighter car, which is a little bit easier on your tyres. So we're going to whip through lap 8. You see, though, not too much happened, as we did have a couple of little moments. Visual Quintin now, you can see him there, right on the back of us, as we're going to peel over to the right-hand side, go flying into this pit entry. You don't even have to brake at all, you can just go flying in. And we come in for our second stop, our second and last stop of the race. So from here to the end, we are going. And I've actually been jumped. I really don't know how this happened, but Quintin has come out like 2 seconds ahead of me there. And obviously a bad job by the Nissan boys. They need to do some more practice pit stops, because I have no idea. I pressed the fuel button, I pressed the tyre button very quickly, and for some reason, maybe they were still drunk, they were still hungover. My pit crew was still hungover from New Year's Eve, and they just missed one of the tyres or something. I don't know. Whatever the reason was, I'm back down here. Now in 11th, although again, it was kind of like the first pit stop. You can't quite judge exactly where you are, because some people are still yet to go into the pit lane, and we have a big group up ahead, and hopefully some of those will peel over to the right-hand side on the main straight, go into the pits, and we'll gain those positions back. We'll see in just a moment exactly how much I'll gain. So coming up through this final sector, really difficult to get right, as mentioned earlier. Someone's going very wide there. Another Spaniard, the 4.8 second penalty. He's missed a 7 up. They try to go around his outside here. He's really on the back foot. He's definitely got some really poor grip at this moment. He goes defensive actually. Not really sure why he needs to do that. And on the way out, bit of contact. We're going to go through back into 10th. Let's see how many people then pull over to the right-hand side and take their second pit stop. I think it's 3 people there. So we should be going up into 7th here. As we cross the line to begin lap number 10. We're getting towards the end of the race. Last couple of laps, 4 laps left to go. And just looking up ahead, there's almost 3 abreast there for a split second. We've got a nice battle, 3rd to 6th, right in front of us. So that was Lazio Troy just coming out the pit lane. So he's gone obviously for that the 5-lap stint at the beginning. So get out of the way early, and then you're kind of on the front foot for the rest of the race, which is a good way of doing it, I suppose. It's a little bit different if you can manage the tyre wear. If you can manage it better than other people, I suppose it's worth doing. As now the group has actually really stretched very quickly. Lazio Troy beginning to pull away in the blue car at the front of this group. Then Quintin there in 4th, recovering from his earlier incident, and then we've got the Spaniard and the Belgian here. As the Belgian kind of goes in really slow and not really sure what he's trying to do there. But I'll go around his outside with some contact. I think he's just trying to disappear, get out of the way, which I'm not sure why he'd do that, but he did. We're going to go back up into 6th place. So again, settling down into this last stint of the race. Let's see if we can make any more gains from here. There's some people right behind. We've got a Dutch guy and the Belgian, who seems to be really on the back foot at this point here, as we go on to the main straight for the end of lap number 10. So 3 laps left to go after this one. Let's see if we can make any gains and make any more progress. So we're going to skip through this lap. And you might have just spotted there the Spaniard ahead making a slight mistake on the exit of turn 1. Really difficult actually turn 1. It looks like kind of an easy corner, but you really do need to get on the throttle very early, so you're kind of risking it all the way. All the time you're coming out of that turn, you're really just trying to get on that throttle half a tenth earlier, and sometimes you might put it off and sometimes you might just spin out a little bit, and you really do not want to get your tyres onto that AstroTurf because that just spins you around and it will just simply result in your imminent death. So right now, tucked into that slipstream, we can see here we're definitely gaining. He's going to go defensive. Going to go fully right behind him to make sure we can make most of that slipstream. And actually bouncing off the limiter and bouncing off the back of his car. As I moved to the left-hand side, he kind of moved over a little late. And I couldn't really react to that as I was already on the brakes. But no worries, no one gets a penalty. We continue. And, well, it looks like this is going to be a battle to the end for 5th place. And in fact, the Dutch guy behind, licking his lips at the prospect of me and this Spaniard killing each other and wiping each other out off the track. So we obviously make sure that doesn't happen. As we sweep around towards the Dunlop corner, really difficult turn this. The brake mark is quite easy because you just brake on this shadow here, boom, and then you're just in. It really just lends itself nicely to that turn. And of course, as the stint goes on, you bring your braking point a little bit further forward. So on your first lap on new tyres, you can brake a little bit after the shadow. As your tyres wear down, you pretty much brake on the shadows, and you kind of just judge your braking point a little bit differently as the stint goes on, as your brake distances increase with worse tyre wear. As we go through the final turn then, 1 lap left to go. Can we tuck into that slipstream? Yes we can. We're going to have another shot here into turn 1. On the final lap, we have a potential 5th position on offer here, or will I kick off the year with a 6th? That is the question we're going to be asking here. Into turn 1, I'm in the slipstream, not quite alongside as everyone's maxed out. Top speed of this Nissan GTR, about 186 miles an hour. On the exit, he's just going to dip 2 wheels onto the Astro. I was just saying about that. And he's spun himself out. Oh man, I'm up into 5th. He's done so well up until that point, and he's thrown it all away. One little mistake is all it takes, and he's lost countless amount of positions and time, probably falling outside the top 10 now. We'll see at the end. But now it turns to a defensive race. I've got the Dutchman behind. There's no chance really of gaining more positions unless maybe Quinton bottles it for the second time, but we're not going to assume that's going to happen. As we see there just how close the purple machine is to putting us under pressure and potentially going for the pass, with barely 3 corners left to go in the race. And of course there is still quite a long run up until the start line. So if he follows me out of this final turn, he could tuck into that slipstream and still potentially pass me before we get to the start-finish line, or the finish line in this case. Coming through the final turn, wide entry. He pokes himself up the inside. Actually, probably that's not the best way to have done it. And now he can firmly stick himself into that slipstream and maybe give him a shot of overtaking me over the line. There is the checkered flag, and we're going to cross the line. It's going to be the 5th, ultimately. He was quite close, but not close enough. And there we go, the end of the first race of the year. I really enjoyed that, actually. Going from 10th to 5th. And not really making too many mistakes. Yes, there was a couple of little bit of slides here and there, but nothing too silly. And maybe that's going to be the theme of the year, I think. Just try to make those less mistakes, because 2018 was a year of bottling, and I want to leave my bottling job. So there we go. Those are the final standings. Really good race. Really enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on that. And Visual Olympic there, really running away as a winner by 12 seconds ahead of second. Really dominated it. But that's all from me today. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you had a happy new year. I shall see you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.